In Tears of the Kingdom, when obtaining one of the secret stones from the temple, Link and the new sage are transported to an area to talk with the ancestor of the sage. Each of the 4 sages will have this conversation with their ancestor to discuss the imprisoning war. We know that the 4 main ancestors didn't die during the imprisoning war, and since the war was so long ago, the ancestors should have naturally passed by the present day. However, there is one key indicator that the ancestors may actually still be alive, and that is during the conversation with the ancestor, they look alive. Let me explain. In both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, when a character is dead, they have this blue glow to indicate that they are now a spirit. We see this with the 4 champions in King Rome in Breath of the Wild, as well as Rauru in Tears of the Kingdom. So why do the ancestors not have this blue glow if they should be dead by now? The cutscene begins after touching the secret stone, which also happens at the beginning of the game when Link touches Zelda's secret stone. He's transported to a very similar place to obtain Zelda's recall ability, and we're coming up on our first spoiler, so if you haven't clicked off yet, now would be the time to do so. But Zelda is still alive, as a dragon of course. My original thought was maybe the ancestors were also dragons. The elements of the dragons and the races line up with 3 of the 4 ancestors, we just don't have a dragon to line up with the Rito. There's always a chance a sky dragon appears later, maybe even as DLC to explain the absence of a 4th dragon, but another reason why the ancestors are probably not the dragons is because, as Minoru says, you lose yourself. You lose your mind and your body, which is why it's a forbidden act. In the cutscene obtaining recall, Zelda isn't opening her eyes, she's not talking. Her body is almost moving on its own accord to give Link recall before disappearing. We can see that she has lost herself and who she once was, whereas the ancestors interact with Link and the sages. You could argue that this area looks like the afterlife, but then again, Zelda appears to be in a similar area. Plus, each area has the symbol of their secret stone in the background, so maybe the ancestors are trapped inside the stones. Maybe this is a sacred realm where they aren't truly dead, but also not part of the world anymore. One major flaw with this theory that I can't quite work around is Minoru. When you put her construct together, we see her blue spirit fly into the secret stone. She has this blue aura around her, like others who have passed, but when she transports Link to the realm, she does not have that blue glow.